That's my wigger.
So I'd like to thank Renee for telling me I should do this. Renee across the street at the bookshop. I've been shopping there 10 years. I wouldn't have been able to write this without her books. And it's dedicated to my father. He helped her hear what wasn't too clear. The sound that's round that goes around. A diamond dance of resonance. The sapphire that soothes as it grooves. By the birch she searched a lofty perch. To hide in it by. Should she share her chattel and open the castle? She tried, but he lied. Indeed with no creed, when he mounted his steed, she never counted his greed. Surely stumbled the road to her humble abode. A comfortable cave, it's not much to crave. Has he given the reason for haven? She made preparation, laid a foundation, does what it takes, and at great length, she often makes pillars of strength. And as he crept, could he detect that they've kept her step? How holy her mountain, like the water in her fountain, with palms and no qualms, no matter how crass, she let him pass. He crossed the moat, with hordes of the Lord's courts in tow. She did not care if his fare to her lair was fair. Just a squire of the choir, however the lyre brought blood and fire. Himself he mocks, the more he knocks. She opened a box all covered in locks, potions with notions, quotients of emotions. It was certainly odd, she never donned a facade. Nothing to gain, won't complain, knows his pain. She wasn't coy of his ploy. She fed this boy the utmost joy. Now he's a toy, she can't unwind. Did she find him kind, so often wined and dined, she'd never have the time to tame a savage mind. His downfall was the call, as her cauldron knew, the witch's brew. Not her fault, it's by default. Her icons frowned when he came around. His idols are ghosts, not heavenly hosts. Her one regret, she never let her omelet vet. His altar had faltered, and you might have guessed, was never blessed. And yet, his goblet was never meant for sacrament. As the chalice is raised, spirits are praised in callous ways. One must conclude, she almost subdued the Asmodean brood. Dharma and karma, and a charm no harm. She's adamant that her pendant is without slant. Perhaps a lapse was it too much to ask to be put up to task, and he did not think he'd be on the brink with a clink and a wink. It seemed this fiend had no sense of consequence. Along came Grim when the sky was dim, 'cause a vermin with a bin packed full of gin put her on a limb. His blunder didn't come to plunder. Alas, she's thrown asunder. Kinda makes you wonder. Now he's the brigand she couldn't stand. In her tower is where she harnessed power. A sorceress whose light is far too bright to ever fight. Let's applaud her. She vanquished the marauder. As they have told, his threshold won't hold. As he was born, she could not be scorned. Now she's come to scoff what she could not ward off. He's a raven, image graven. She's a dove, a mage of love. She's loyal, not royal. But she won't deny the purple dye. The king and queen are keen to convene, for her advice is twice as nice. The least, a priestess, all could confess. Maybe 8 would rise to tithe. Alas, he can't explain how grand her domain. Spatial, not palatial, but no place for a wastrel. He'll never resemble the aroma of her temple. For no sage is made with age, but it's not too hard to be a bard. Her tarot is never narrow. anecdotes to quote, couldn't make it road, never below, never to sow. Let's be clear, she's a dear, and he's no seer. So unjust, this stubborn cuss. Has he won the trust of a succubus on the cusp of lust? Was the caduceus superfluous? The talisman of leisure to a man of seizure. After quenching her caste, she couldn't have cast this lower caste bastard faster. He did repeat a feat of death-defying deceit. So she summoned a specter of serpent and scepter, a vector sent to protect her. A hue of blue, a flash of white, what a sight, the flight of his plight. Chariots with lariats, adorned with a horn. As she wished, away he whisked to his abyss. It was there that he fell, with no story to tell. A demon were eaten as hell. Tryst was missed, won't shake her fist, but take him off the list. Lost his chance for an olive branch, cost a glance from a rapier lance. Though from her it shan't occur, with his guilt so well built, it's to the hilt. The moon a crest, a swoon in jest, the shamaness rest, next to the best, beast on her breast, draped in flowers, no longer cowers. When she can dream, he won't be seen, and she will glean a better scene.
Nice.
All right, that was written in the last 3 months. I have one that was written 10 years ago. Incoming cosmos is almost. Can we sense the celestial audience? Full of winds it spins. We're told this mold is old, color of gray we first spray. In primeval upheaval, with a duration of aberration. Before our Lord there was a spore. Diction to inscription was the ambition. Or a probe to the inner lobe. A necessary emissary with a trait to alleviate hate. Communion, communication, don't shun integration, attention, retention. Do what is taught, for pure thought comes from decay and rot. In cold weather we band together, and in caves we should have stayed, which pays the price we dearly paid.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it up again for Eric. Let's go. Let's hear it for him.
Yeah.
So, how many of you have an iPhone?